This is SimNews for October 2025, and we've got a couple of things to talk about. So
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we recorded an episode for the roadmap that came out a little while ago, and we cancelled that episode because, quite frankly, Metro Rivals was about to be announced, and I didn't want to have to edit 2 videos within the span of a week. So we're combining the two, kind of. Now, we're not going to go too in depth with the roadmap because fundamentally not only is it slightly out of date now, there's just not that much interesting to go over that we haven't already talked about before. And so there are things on it that look interesting and things that look, well, slightly shit. But quite frankly, we'll just move on with it, and we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, Metro Rivals.
Yep.
Yeah, Metro Rivals is the new game that Dovetail have announced. And we already knew it was going to be Metro Rivals because of basically the trademark. People found out that they trademarked the name, and that was months ago. It's been a whole saga with this new game. And Metro Rivals, they properly announced it during an IGN live stream thing. And it's effectively an arcade-ish. It's a simcade train racing game with a story mode campaign. It's really hard to explain, and I don't think many people are going to get it. You may have already played, depending on how old you are, a game called Extreme Express on the PS2. And this seems to be like a spiritual sequel to that. But, of course, the more important thing with Metro Rivals is the fact that it's Dovetail's first Unreal Engine 5 project. Now, we've had things in the past where Dovetail have effectively used a side game, a side project, to test engines for new games. So Eurofishing was the first project that they did with Unreal Engine 4 to effectively learn how to use it. And then, of course, that led to the horror that is Train Sim World. And so what is almost certainly going to happen is that Dovetail are using Metro Rivals mainly to test Unreal Engine 5 and see if they can make a Train Sim World sequel or continuation or just general update with Unreal Engine 5.
Yay!
The thing is,
so what is the gameplay like? Because the thing is,
no idea.
I have no interest in this whatsoever. Because, see, the thing is, I just think that they're the wrong people to do such a thing. Maybe. I don't know. It's just a bit strange that they constantly whack you with TSWs. I know it's nothing to do with TSW, but TSW is
sort of
a simulator. TSW is a simulator. TSW is the simulator of railways that you should buy. So on. And they never ever stop going on with the future of train simulation. TSW. Yeah. And then suddenly they make an arcade train racing game. I know it's not the same title, but it's I don't know. It doesn't really say much.
The game.
Well, I think.
Yeah, you first.
I was going to say, I think Bertie is right, where this is serving less as a new product or franchise that Dovetail are working on, but more as a training tool that
it is a test bed. It is absolutely a test bed, but
oh no, what a horrific thought.
Well, no, but
Metro Rivals 5.
No, but if it is successful, and I don't think it will be, but if it is, I suspect they'll do more with it. But we've had multiple non-starters from Dovetail that have been new franchises. Flight Sim World, that didn't go anywhere. Catan, Console Edition, that all of the fishing games that they did, and we just forgot about them. Yeah. So
why does that not surprise me?
Well, no. So if the game comes out and it's something that you enjoy, and I think I might enjoy it. Because to me it comes across like an early 2000s Japanese like
Pile of shit.
no, like but people who've played those sort of games will know exactly what I mean. It's like an early 2000s Japanese like low level single A release on the PS2. It's just like that.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, and I definitely feel like that's the audience that they're trying to target, especially with
Possibly.
like the graphics and just generally how it's been built up.
well, yeah,
Uh,
I guess, yeah. It does seem a bit mental, and I like that.
with Metro Rivals, it very much kind of reminds me of like a Burnout, the Burnout franchise,
I,
with how
s-
it's kind of
I
handled.
see what you mean. I see what you mean. I think well, just I think more like Burnout 1 and 2, the vibe they had. Because I think Burnout 3 and Revenge, they had a different vibe. And then, actually, no. Oh, well, anyway, we'll get distracted otherwise. But there's,
Yeah, we can
I
talk
think
forever
it's
about this.
an early Burnout vibe, I guess.
Mm.
Which is a big compliment. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
just
thing is,
this
I
is
don't know
such a commodity
how
compared
do
to
you even race a train?
with
By
speed
crossing the
and
finish line
power.
first.
But yeah, I know that, clever clogs. But when was the last time you saw a train race without taking into account the tram Olympics? Never.
What about those trials with Rocket or whatever it was?
Yeah,
Definitely on
you
the
could say that
collier
was the
side.
first and last train race. Yeah.
Okay, right. Anyway, right. Let's
Also known
properly
as
move.
Rain Hill Trials for those
Yes,
of us that actually
that's what it
care.
was. Okay. Right. Properly moving on now. Trains of World
Right,
6
yes.
has come out. It's a bit fucky. The early access release, or as I like to call it, the delayed access release for people who didn't pay enough money, was
The
majorly.
access release for Povo Wankers.
Yes, that release was majorly fucked upon its release, at least on console, at least on Xbox, with massive Z fighting and loads of other issues. And then after the game came out, the day one patch seemed to fix a lot of it, but then they released another patch which broke everything again, which is fun. And I don't know what the game's like now because I haven't actually played it at all since I don't actually have
Uh,
a PC at the moment.
I know people that have played it, and what I can tell you is that it's if you're not interested in the core routes and you're not going to buy them for the time being,
Yeah.
other than for the free upgrade, which I should probably get. Talking
Yes.
about this, I'm going to do that now before I forget.
Everyone, get the free upgrade. Even if you don't want to play it, just get it because it's free and you might want it in the future. That goes for all free things ever, except for drugs and HIV.
So it's a waste of your time installing it because it
Effectively,
includes absolutely nothing new in the core. Because once again, we see the game being treated as, the DLC is being treated as independent games.
Yeah.
Which means that yes, it's great that you've got announcements and all that palaver, but the thing is, by this logic, say if TSW still exists in 5 years,
Oh God, no.
no one on earth would want to play, say, well, I mean, they wouldn't anyway, but Rapid Transit, because it's just void of everything that has come after it.
Yeah,
And it's not like saying in TS where you could say, for example, Golden Age Developments are making a completely brand new, I was going to say like remastered, but it's not. Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway, which was one of the first ones. But I can now take even if I did play the original one and just put AP Trees and Skies and whatnot on it, I could just get my Bossman Games, whatever, and immediately upgrade. Yeah. Whereas in TSW, you can, but you can't, because yes, in theory you can get free roam, but the free roam doesn't work because there's not enough marker points. But then the signalling breaks and you crash into another train, and then suddenly you want to use the timetable mode, which is one of my favourite features of TSW, and it turns out that you're, say, on Mind Spares at Barn, and the Roos Ignored Dostos sub in, and the loco they've subbed in with isn't compatible with the Roos Ignored Dostos.
Yeah.
So you end up with a completely destroyed game, and it's funny because the more you pay, the more probability it is that it'll break.
Yeah,
Because if you
pretty much.
buy TSW, buy, I don't know, say quite one of these German routes with a lot of content like Dresden Teresa, the original one, or one of these, because I don't know anything about the new one. Immediately you get within its bugs, a full experience. However, then imagine you say, "Oh, I'm quite a fan of the whatever it's called, the one with the 103, the 1990 route."
Linky Rhines.
Linky Rhines. That's it, yeah. And suddenly you find that, you've got to, I don't know, making up Risa, because not that they stop there, but you get to Risa, and you see a train on another track, and you say, oh yes, I'm going to drive it. So you calmly walk up to the Dosto, you do the cab, and then you say, right away, close the doors, release the brakes, and move the throttle, only to find out the locomotive isn't compatible in real life, and neither is in TSW, and therefore you have just paid €35 to have your route broken, with a livery that shouldn't even come up and a version that shouldn't even come up.
Thing is, though, with Rapid Transit, going back to that, did anyone want to play it when it came out?
No, but the tunnel section was very pretty.
It was very pretty. Yeah, well, it still is, actually. But
yes.
Anyway, right. Thing is, we've got Birmingham to Crewe that's come out today, as of us recording it. And it is...
I know nothing about this route. What is included?
Okay, so the route itself is Birmingham to Crewe, as the name suggests. And you get the Class 350. It's unbranded, but it comes with pretty much all of the relevant variants as of 2019. So it's got the London Midland livery, it's got a number of different LNWR liveries, and it's got the 1s, 2s, and 3s. So it's actually a pretty complete pack. Which I think
is it any good?
Like that. I wish they would do that more in TSW, where they would add the whole kind of body of content.
Yeah, that's because Dovetail didn't make it. But the trouble is the console versions. They got the wrong build sent. Obviously,
again.
Yeah. This is at least the 4th or 5th time that this kind of thing has happened.
In TSW 6 is the second time out of 2 releases.
Well, including the game itself, as far as I'm aware.
Yes, yeah. As far as you are correctly aware, yes.
And at some point, I don't know what Dovetail are really doing. I mean, obviously there was the Train Simulator update of Doom that they released, which replaced the entire game and all of its DLCs with empty folders. But
what was that?
Don't you remember the update of Doom?
Not really.
I got it.
Oh yeah,
I got it.
Yeah,
yeah. You avoided it because you saw the post on Facebook saying don't open Steam. I wasn't so lucky. But yeah, that update was only up for like a few hours or something. And so even though it was a major cock up, it didn't. I don't think it affected that many people. But with Train Sim World, you've got what is effectively a major release being fucked up for a lot of people by a company who don't seem to know what they're doing, because I don't know how you managed to send the wrong build to two separate platforms so many times.
I'd love Dovetail to make I know it makes no sense, but I would love Dovetail to make a Mac port.
Oh, I would love that.
TSW.
I would love that.
And for them to invert them by mistake. So you have Windows PCs crashing all over the place with Mac game folders.
It wouldn't. No, because the Macs don't use .exe files. So basically, you just have downloaded a .app file that would do fuck all when you click on it. But then if you're on an Intel Mac, you could emulate the Windows version. So actually, it would be a net positive for Mac users somehow. Thing is, I mean, Mac gaming It's dead at the moment, but I do believe there is potential, but not for Train Sim World, because
No, but the thing is, Bertie, you've just auto-defined it. Train Sim World. Train Sim World doesn't have potential anymore.
well,
Because
it
it's being
definitely doesn't have
developed by
potential.
morons.
It definitely doesn't have potential on a Mac. I mean, Macs are the modern Macs are very powerful, but can it cope with Dovetail's unoptimized code?
No.
No, right.
Now, see,
Well,
the thing is,
that's sorted then.
you spend, say, how much a high-end Mac, right?
Wait,
Really nice.
hang on. I'm going to stop you. I've just realised Unreal Engine 4, you can do Mac ports, but not Apple Silicon Mac ports. So it would.
What I was going to say is, if you
Oh,
spend
no,
a
no,
lot
hold
of
on, no, no,
money
hang on. It's
Bertie,
interesting because
I don't care.
Yeah, but shut
I
up.
do.
Right. So if you want to play, so currently on Mac
Did you
OS,
say if you want to pluck?
no,
Do
if
not
you
want to
if you want to,
pluck.
so currently on Mac OS 26 you can run Intel apps emulated, but next year they're getting rid of it because it's the end of the transition period, which means that and because Unreal Engine 4 has no Apple Silicon support at all, you can't output. Well, maybe you can do an iPhone thing, but that doesn't work for Mac. That means that even if Dovetail did want to do it, they wouldn't be able to. Anyway, on with whatever it was that you were going to say, Adrian.
You spend yourself, say, really top end Mac, not top end, but say you spend a generous amount, say £6,000 on a Mac, whatever that will get you in a Mac. I'm not going into
That'll get
specifics
you
right now.
quite a lot.
Okay, well, you spend £6,000 and you say, oh, look, you've never really been in the simulation world. You don't know the existence of Train Sim World. Oh, this looks like a nice simulator, or you probably call it game. And then you go in and you open it and you say, oh, this route looks nice. London commuter. You load in and your Mac goes bang, and you're £6,000 out the window. That would be a really hilarious sight.
Well, not for the person who bought the Mac.
Yeah, but for everyone else, it would be really funny, especially for Matt Peddleston.
I mean, the problem with that is that if you spend £6,000 on the Mac, the only thing you'll be able to afford is the keyboard.
Why?
Because Mac, you didn't get the joke.
Oh, right.
I didn't get it
I'm so
either.
funny.
I didn't get it either, Henry, and I have a Mac.
Thank you, Bertie.
Well, it's funny because Macs are expensive.
But then, well, not really. Not that. Not. Anyway, that's a debate for something that isn't a train simulator podcast.
Yeah.
So right,
we've just ended up talking about Macs for the past 15 minutes. We should probably get back on track.
Yeah, Birmingham to Crewe. How many times are they going to send the wrong build somehow?
Well, what I'm guessing is that it's like the new guy that they've just hired that has no idea how to send stuff out.
No, that's been going on for years.
So until they train him,
it's been going on for
that means
years.
that the best bit about all of this is it means that all these bugs that are blatantly obvious, it's not a bug about, it's a pathing issue and the time. No, a blatant issue like, Xbox being destroyed.
Yeah.
Has have they still not got the message of testing?
I genuinely don't think they know how to use the PlayStation and Xbox stores.
I just don't. I have given up on Dovetail shams because it's just hilarious. It's just I still remember with great sadness and sorrow, but spirit of steam.
Yeah.
Everyone was, oh my god, I was really excited myself, and then it came out, and then that was it.
When Rush Hour came out on Xbox, you had to do something on Xbox to make it work, but I can't remember what. But on PlayStation, it just completely annihilated the game, and for weeks you couldn't play anything.
And when TSW2 released, because that was the last. I got the last thing I ever bought on PS4 was, as in the TSW version, was TSW2.
Mm-hmm.
Not the DLCs when it came out. I remember the last two things I bought were the Class 20, which I stayed up for, and I enjoyed it. thoroughly, as I think everyone does with the TSW20,
Yeah,
as we've discussed
definitely.
many times. And then I remember installing the Royal TSW2, and I remember being really excited, because of the well, I was really looking forward to having, BR Blue class that I think you see where I'm going,
Yeah.
BR Blue class 33, and then they said, oh yeah, but no, because livery editor's only kind of coming out little by little, and so on, so on, so on.
And there's still
And
things
then
that
apart
aren't
from
using
that,
it.
I know, it's absurd. And then I still don't see the purpose in it. But anyway, that's just the
Well, the livery editor
ongoing
is
topic.
shit. It's just shit.
It's just pointless. It's pointless because anyway.
You can't
I remember
import any.
you'd have to
when
you were in when I was playing it. I remember I made a few liveries for different trains, because even though it was shit, I was quite excited. Because I remember at this point I had
liveries as well.
At this point, I had never played TS, so this was before I ever had a gaming computer or TS. So it was literally my only way of having a custom experience, as to speak.
Yeah.
And I remember TSW would open and it would immediately crash, and I asked Dovetail for support, and they said, "Oh, you've got to wipe the save game data," and
obviously,
I obviously did. And obviously all the liveries I hadn't spent hours, but many minutes doing it. And I remember they were all gone, and I was thinking, and it happened repeatedly. So every single time that, I'd been playing, say, 3 hours or so, the next time I opened the game, boop, again. So every single time you'd have to create a new save game profile and all those things that take forever in TSW on a console as well, because it's not just on a PC where you can click anyway. The keyboard plugged in on me, so oh my god. And then I remember I decided to buy a TS on my really old, not really old, but it was a really silly, not great laptop, just a basic laptop. And I decided to play, and I remember playing TS at 15 FPS was more pleasurable than TSW. That says a lot.
I mean, for my I used to play on a laptop, and that was like, even though it said 15 FPS, it was like free. But I still really, really enjoyed playing TS back then. And
it's still a better experience than TSW.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah. And that's where I started route building, actually. Anyway, right. Going back once again to Birmingham to Crewe, something quite interesting is that Dovetail sent codes to ambassadors, as they do with pretty much every DLC. And a lot of the ambassadors prefer to play on console because of some sort of disorder.
Mental dysfunction, yeah.
Well, I mean, to be an ambassador in the first place, you do kind of need to not feel there.
Yeah. And if you are an ambassador watching this, only Henry's got a problem with you, and Adrian. I don't have a problem with you.
Bertie Short does.
Okay. But no,
his address is
no, don't you fucking no. Anyway, right. The codes that they sent to the ambassadors were all for the PC version. They did not send any, as far as I'm aware, console codes for Birmingham to Crewe, which means almost certainly that Dovetail knew that they'd sent the wrong versions.
They are just great at just,
what the fuck is going on?
I know. I think if you hire Mr. Bean, right, he'd do a better job at designing a game.
He would, yeah, more entertaining as well. Anyway, right, we're going to leave Birmingham to Crewe because we've been talking about it for like 3 hours now.
I mean, we've been talking about Macs because you're just a Mac obsessive.
Oh, shut up, you Windows man. So, Train Simulator Classic. There is some news. Many months ago.
Back into it.
Back in May, on the 9th of May, they announced this.
Was it seriously the 9th of May?
Yep. It's been a minute.
So they announced Train Simulator Classic, the new one. They've got rid of the year again. They brought it back for one release, and now they've got rid of it because potato. It's coming with Saluda Grade, the Chatham Mainline 3,
Sorry, I must interrupt, Bertie.
and Constance Willingen.
Most scientific discoveries are made indeed by accident.
The new update, which isn't really an update because they're not doing anything with the core because they can't be bothered.
And also, I don't mind that too much, just as long as they don't destroy it again.
I do mind it because the latest beta has got a fix, a few fixes that are really good. Like the moving AI trains. No, moving like player trains. You know, when you're meant to be stopped, but you're still moving slightly. That's fixed. But the new beta breaks a lot of things as well, and so there isn't a definitive version yet, which is really annoying. But it's something, I guess. We're getting a new background, yay! A new chance for your files to be verified, yay! And the route selection is interesting because it's the first time that they've had actual third-party routes in the base pack, because only Chatham Mainline is a first-party route.
It was announced so long ago, I thought that had already happened, but obviously
not yet. And they also announced a new Dovetail route. And Dovetail, a while ago, just completely stopped Train Simulator route development, and they cancelled a route that was in production, but they've they've announced a new route. I don't know if it was the cancelled one, but it's a route at least.
I mean, I think it would be wise to say so, because
maybe, yeah. I mean, but it's been worked on with both Dovetail and a company called Jacksoft, or a man called Jacksoft.
I know him, not personally.
Is he good?
Yes, he is. I was just trying to think. He made the. Yes, he is. Yes, yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. Well, they're working together on a Dutch route, which is the first official Dovetail Dutch route in Train Simulator. Will it be any better than the Quiz Train stuff?
Yes. For TSW, yes.
What?
What?
Quiz Trains, you made that Dutch route for TSW.
No.
We're talking about TS.
No, the big TSW one, the one that was way too expensive for what you got.
That wasn't Chris Trains.
Oh.
Or maybe he had a part in it, but he didn't make it.
Absolutely not.
Actually, Chris Trains said on the forums that Dovetail just hadn't been getting back to him. He wants to join as a third-party developer, but or he's wanted to, but Dovetail just aired him.
There is something which is really funny, which has happened many times in the history of TSW, and I find it extremely hilarious. Just because, which is developers, third-party developers going in as kind of second-party developers, then third-party developers, then realizing the game is shit and giving up. Which I think is just. I'm talking, of course, about ways that Victor works.
And mesh tools. What happened to
mesh tools as well?
Mesh tools,
because they did the simulation for the 33, which is why it's good. And Skyhook did the modelling for the 33, which is why it looks good.
It sounds good as well.
I don't know.
The 33 is another great. It's a great.
I like the 33. There's a mod for it where you can get a pack file reskin of it into Dutch livery, and it looks dashing. Anyway, so we've got that route, the Dutch route for TS, and we've got a new route being made by, I can't remember who, but it's like a Scottish route or something, which might be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, Scotland.
Yeah. Woo.
I mean, it kind of depends on what the plans for it are, because the screenshots
don't look that good.
They don't look as good as DTG got things to look back in when they were actually doing like serial routes.
Yeah, that's true. The thing is with Dovetail is that for TS routes, the scenery is usually quite good, especially with the later routes. But with third parties, it's very hit and miss. I mean, the new Great Western Levels, the new Caledonia Works, Golden Age route. That it's got some nice bits, but the scenery.
It's not that it's bad, because it's not bad,
empty,
because it doesn't use hideous trees or anything of the sort, but it does give you a sense of emptiness. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And it's weird considering some of the other routes being incredibly good looking.
It is a bit strange, but I
Yeah.
think it's because someone else made it. Because it's a lot of people.
Oh, right. Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, I think it's semi speculation. I remember reading something similar.
Okay. Well, we'll put that in the maybe pile. So yeah,
Yes.
we're not going to cover, as I said at the start of the episode, I'm not going to cover the roadmap because, quite frankly, there's not much point in us doing that. But
Mainly because you can go and read it yourself, and there's nothing we could tell you that
yeah,
you can't obtain by reading it.
yeah.
So
So I think we're going to end the video here. It's a relatively shorter one compared to what we usually do, but I don't think that's a problem because none of you will hear this bit because you'll all be doing something else. So I hope you all enjoyed the video if you're still watching, and we'll see you probably next month, around this time next month, depending on when the roadmap comes out. We'll do a roadmap review next month, I think.
And if the Train Sim Classic update breaks the game or something, you might also hear from us.
Yeah. I doubt it will, but yeah,
You never know with Dovetail.
but make sure to back up your stuff just in case there's a file verification. Just do that generally. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching /listening. So
and we shall see you soon, everyone.
yes.
Thank you for spending your time with us,
You too.
listening about Max.
Yes. Bye.
Potato.